Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video we are going to see two different formulas that we need to know using 3-point estimate technique that may be asked in the exam. I was shockingly asked 3 questions related to these techniques. They are very simple formulas. They are just bread and butter to eat in the exam, but the important thing is you need to know which formula to use when. So in exam they will give you the technique and you need to know which formula to use. So the first technique is called triangular distribution. When exam says triangular distribution, you just simply need to add optimistic plus most likely plus pessimistic and divide this by 3. You will get the duration or cost of your activity. Fine. Let's say we have to travel from one city to another city, from one city to another city, right? The most likely it will take is 3 days, but if things go very well, there is no hindrance, and in the best case scenario, the optimistic is it may take 2 days, and in worst case scenario, if things don't go as per plan and there is some traffic problem or something happens to car, it might take 7 days. Okay, so important thing to note here is the difference between optimistic to pessimistic and optimistic to most likely. It doesn't need to be equal. See, from here, the most likely, the optimistic is only difference is 1, but from most likely to pessimistic, the difference here is 4 days. So they are independent of each other. You calculate based on the worst case scenario and best case scenario. So if we have to calculate the duration, the most using triangular distribution, this will be here. Optimistic is 2 plus most likely equal to 3 plus pessimistic is equal to 7 divided by 3. So this becomes 5 plus 7, 12 divided by 3. So this becomes 4. Now here you see the most likely was 3 days, but we will assign 4 days to this activity using triangular distribution because we considered optimistic and pessimistic in this scenario, which was not the case in critical path method. Critical path method, we would have given 3 days to this activity, right? So this is very simple formula. You just add these 3 different parameters and divide by 3. The next technique is called as beta distribution. Important thing with this technique is it has different names. It might also called PERT technique, and PERT stands for Program Evaluation Review Technique. So even if exam says Program Evaluation Review Technique, you have to use this formula. And what is this formula? In this formula, we were just adding these three parameters and dividing by 3. But in this technique, this is also called PERT technique, we are giving more weightage to our most likely, because we are emphasizing that most likely is the one that should have more weightage, and it should have more weightage when we are calculating the duration. So this becomes optimistic plus 4 into most likely plus pessimistic divided by 6. So what we are doing, we are dividing these three parameters into 6 different boxes, but 4 boxes are going to most likely, and we are divided by 6 because we have given 4 here it was 3, but here it is divided by 6 because 4 times is going with most likely. So let's calculate our this example using this formula. This will become optimistic is 2 plus most likely is 3 plus pessimistic is 7 divided by 6. This becomes 12. 4 into 3 12. 12 plus 2 14 plus 7 is equal to 21. 21 divided by 6. So this becomes 3.5. So look at the difference between here in these two is that here when we were using triangular distribution we got the value 4, but in this and beta distribution we got the value 3.5 because we are giving more weightage to most likely option. Important thing, as I mentioned before, that you need to know these three, need to know which formula to use when. Whenever question says triangular distribution, use this formula. If the question says beta distribution, PERT technique, or if it doesn't mention PERT, it mentions program evaluation review technique, you need to use this formula. This is very simple, very easy, and these are straight points in your exam. And the last formula that we don't use to calculate the duration estimate, but that might come in exam is called as standard deviation. Standard deviation is if we want to know the deviation from between pessimistic and optimistic. It's again very simple formula. You'll be very happy if you get this question in the exam. Standard deviation is pessimistic minus optimistic divided by 6. Very straightforward formula. You just need to in this case it will be 7 minus 2 divided by 6. So this is 5 divided by 6. So this is something near to 0.8 or 0.9. So this is called standard deviation. They might ask you to calculate the standard deviation using 3-point estimation. Divide pessimistic with optimistic and divide by 6. You will get the standard deviation. This section is very easy with regards to mathematics. It's very straightforward formulas, but you just need to know which formula to use when. I hope you like this video. I'll see you in the next video.